AITA for kicking my SIL out for making my drunk husband feel like hit. My SIL, her husband and her kid, 14, are staying with me and my husband for the next week because there's a family funeral and all hotels were booked out for the Bluegrass Fest and Kane Brown concert. We have a big farmhouse so it's not big deal, but SIL is very opinionated. My SIL and my husband have different fathers. Her dad died from liver failure 10 years ago and his death date just passed by not too long ago. He was a massive alcoholic, and due to this, my SIL turns into a itch whenever she sees anyone drinking, especially people in her family. Well, my husband, who isn't a big drinker, went out with friends last night as kind of a last hoorah, because we will be welcoming our first daughter into this world in about a month and he just wanted to celebrate his becoming of a dad. I encouraged him to go. I arranged for his Uber back home and came in around 11 p.m. last night. He was very drunk. He walked in the door singing, "Let's Stay Together," by Al Green, dancing, spinning me around the living room floor in some very sloppy waltz and laughing the whole time as he was tripping all over himself. Now, my dad is an alcoholic too. So I get it, but honestly, I was having a fucking blast with my drunk husband. SIL comes into the room and just starts laying into my husband about him drinking, screaming about how he was going to turn out, just like dad, etc., etc. At this point my husband's mood is dead. He's crying. I lost it. I told her, how heckin' he turn out like a poss when that poss isn't his father. Get out of my house right now and don't ever come back. She immediately went quiet and said she couldn't take her daughter out at this time of night and that no hotels had vacancy, and my husband knew better than to drink around her. Andy told her that's not my problem. Leave. The whole family is pissed at me and my husband right now for him drinking in front of SIL and me kicking them out at midnight. AITA? ETA. I never said her daughter or her husband had to leave. I told her she had to. She chose to wake them up and drag them with her after she caused problems. AITA for mocking my friend's husband's weight? My 22F best friend Jenny, 23F, just recently had a baby with her husband Tom, 25M. My boyfriend Andy got to meet their baby boy for the first time last weekend when they came over to our flat for dinner. We have a hot tub on our balcony that my parents gave us for Christmas last year, and I had told them to bring swimwear so we could go in after dinner. My boyfriend wasn't up for it, so he held the baby while us three got ready to get in the tub. Jenny was the last person to get changed and came out of the bathroom in a bikini. I thought she looked amazing, really happy and glowing, but Tom kind of laughed and said something about her still having some weight to lose before she'd be as attractive as she was before her pregnancy. I was a bit stunned by that comment, and even though Jenny didn't say anything, her smile disappeared and she looked obviously uncomfortable. She and Ehud talked about her struggling with weight gain during her pregnancy, and I thought Tom's comment was more than insensitive. I got angry, because I started wondering what he might be saying to her in private if he was comfortable dropping lines like that in front of other people, so I responded with, "She just had a baby. What's your excuse? The dude has a hefty beer belly and a double chin butt, thinks he can joke about a new mom's weight?" He got really defensive and told me that I need to learn how to take a joke before stomping off to the hot tub. Jenny chuckled at my comment and I thought that was that, but when they left for the night, Tom pulled me aside and told me to keep my nose out of other people's business. I don't think I was entirely in the wrong, but my boyfriend told me I shouldn't have reacted at all because it really wasn't my business, and I think Tom's reaction speaks for itself, and it makes me wonder whether I might have been the in that situation. Edit. Fixed a typo. AITA for showing a spreadsheet of everything I pay for and showing their dad doesn't do hit. Use the wrong there in the title on my phone. Sorry. Okay, I'm getting mixed opinions from this. 2 kids, 13 and 11. I'm not going to lie, we live a pretty frugal life. All my extra money I make goes into their college accounts or fun weekends. Dad has them once a month and is the fun parent. Can't get his child payments in, but willing to do a surprise trip to Kennywood. It's frustrating, all right. I try not to say anything bad about him, but he has been pushing the narrative that without him and the money he gives me we wouldn't have the home. It's so false, and now the kids are going, well, dad pays for this. My last straw is when the kids told me that it's dad who pays for the home. So I pulled up my budget spreadsheet and it includes all the stuff that he pays for. So child support, and he hasn't paid for the past 2 months. The kids were upset for being lied to, and the oldest get in an argument with him since she called to confirm. We got in an argument and he is calling me a jerk. My friends are split on this and I am wondering if I went too far. AITA for ruining a child's birthday party and getting the parents in trouble? I, 32M, live in an apartment complex with a pool. There is no active lifeguard or anyone really monitoring it like most apartment pools. On Saturday my boyfriend and I went to hang out at the pool around 2 p.m. We get there and it's packed. Like way too packed. I knew this couldn't all be residents. There were maybe 25 to 30 Hispanic people with beer, GLSS bottles of Modelo as well, double rule break, with the alcohol and glass, loud music, and they were also using both of the grills and the patio. After investigating further, it looked like one of the small families that I've seen around the complex was having a birthday party for their kid. Our complex technically has a rule that all non-residents must be checked in at the office to use the pool, but there's no way they enforce this and nobody really pays attention to that rule. But a whole-ass birthday party? The entire pool was filled with kids. It doesn't specifically say no parties, but it says be respectful of others' space and not to hog items like the grills, hot tub, umbrella tables. My BF and I tried to lay out in the corner, but it wasn't working. After another couple told us how displeased they were with this party too, my BF suggested we say something. Well, left and stopped by the front office and told them about the party. About an hour later, we started seeing all them leaving the pool. It looked like the party was shut down. This morning we got a note on our door from the hosts of the party. I deck how they knew it was us or what unit we lived in, but that's beside the point. The note called us SS-holes for what we did and now said they are under a lease review, where the office could decide to evict them if they want, so they thanked us for potentially getting a poor, small family kicked out. I said we weren't the only ones who had a problem, and if we didn't do it, they would have eventually gotten caught. I also told them that whatever happens is their own fault for blatantly breaking the rules. AITA? AITA for forcing my stepdaughter to cut her hair? I, 31, met my husband, 34 meters, 8 years ago, and we have been married for 6. He has an 11-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. I work from home, so I mainly end up taking care of her. I have since she was young. We have a generally good relationship. She stays at her mother's most weekends. She has incredibly long blonde wavy hair, just past her bottom. It's a nightmare to take care of. It frequently tangles and she always needs help brushing and styling it before school. I'm not a morning person and I do not like having to wake you Pearly to do a kid's hair. It's expensive to maintain as she requires more products. She insists on using hair oils which can cost around $11 and only last a few weeks. She also insists she has to use curly hair shampoo instead of regular shampoo and conditioner, which is often over $10 per bottle. And she goes through it at a fast rate. She won't use a regular brush on it as she insists it breaks hair and hurts, so she uses a wide tooth comb which takes a long time to brush when she could be doing other more productive things such as homework or helping me with chores. I decided she had become obsessed with her hair, and I do not want her to become vain, so I decided it needs to be cut. I don't see it as a big deal. I have always had shoulder-length hair as my hair does not grow very fast and I get frequent trims. It's a lot more practical. I took her to the hairdressers as normal. In the car on the way down, she said she wants to make sure the hairdresser doesn't cut too much. I politely explained that I would like her to cut her hair to shoulder length as it has become a burden. At first she thought I was joking, but when Cher allied, she started to cry. When we got to the salon, the hairdresser was reluctant to cut her hair due to her tears, but I explained the trouble we have maintaining it and assured cutting it would be best for her. In the end, the stylist agreed and cut her hair. The stylist braided her hair, then cut it. She kept it. Her hair was now just past shoulder length and looked a lot darker. The car journey home was silent. I offered her McDonald's but she refused. She went straight to her room when we got back. My husband went up to see her when he got home and apparently found her on her bed sobbing, holding her old hair. My husband immediately called her mother to come and collect her, and as soon as my stepdaughter was out the door, he started yelling. Her mother also came in and gave me a mouthful. I explained my reasoning, but my husband wouldn't budge. He said if I had issue he would have did her hair in the mornings and that he didn't mind paying for the products. He was so furious he said he no longer trusts me around his daughter, and doesn't know if he can be with a woman who he doesn't trust with her. This broke my heart. I didn't mean her any harm, I was just so tired and am trying to reduce stress. I've always been Theon to raise her and her brother and I'm just exhausted. AITA? AITA for telling my brother that he is undateable? My brother Bill, 30M, has been trying online dating for 3 years but with no success. We live in a more rural area, so there aren't that many single women around his age to begin with. The ones who are available, well, Bill didn't think they were good enough. He asked me to edit his Hinge profile so he can attract a mate. I looked it over and, amen. His profile has paragraphs of what he's looking for in a woman: skinny, cute, under 30, average to high income, and lives locally. She must be into anime and gaming. The only pictures he's got are grainy selfies or pictures with one or both parents. Mostly our mom. Bill lives with our parents and has been working as a door greeter at Walmart since he was 18. I told Bill that he doesn't need to overhaul his pitch, he needs to overhaul his life. No woman meeting his wants would want to date an obese 30-year-old living off of his parents and working a job Walmart normally gives to old people to stay busy. Bill freaked out on me and told our mom. She's upset because I tried to tear him down when he needed my help. She wants me to apologize, but what's there to apologize? I just told Bill what was wrong and that he should consider changing his life if he really wants what he wants. AITA?